He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and we show the world that as Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you're located, because remember, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Once again, on this episode, I do apologize for my voice. I don't know what it is. After Sunday, I came in here early Sunday morning, went ahead and record, and I started feeling a little soreness in my throat. As you know, I went to play softball last Friday night. I don't know if that had to do anything with it, but all through Sunday, man, I was fighting losing my voice, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just going ahead. That's why the show's late, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to make sure I had enough voice to come into the podcast. Try to make other arrangements, didn't work out, but I'm here. The show's late. I apologize on my part. Now, if you listen to this after when I normally release, you're like, late? What do you mean late? Well, it's a podcast. One good thing about podcasts, we can come in here. I know we have a scheduled Thursday release. So, but I'm glad to be back in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. I'm drinking on me a little bit of Pepsi right here. Not my preferred drink. I like Coca-Cola or something other, but Pepsi was in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. We got to go ahead and take it. Beggars cannot be choosers. You got to remember that. Beggars cannot be choosers, as I was saying. But yeah, we have a jam-packed show as it's been for a couple of weeks. Got some great things lined up. Got some opinions I do want to bounce off you guys, and one would be that it finally happened. And we were talking about this. We talked about Trump being indicted. But ladies and gentlemen, Trump was arrested. This came on Tuesday around 2:15. He had an arrangement with the judge. He had to go get fingerprinted. They did not take a mugshot. And they also did not put him in handcuffs. The Trump lawyers, I don't think would have went ahead and did this if that was not on the table. I think they would have took Ron DeSantis's deal where you stay in Florida. The problem with that would have been it would have helped the Democrat Party if he would have done that, because he wouldn't have went ahead and built a campaign. So, ladies and gentlemen, he went and get himself arranged. His next court date, according to Fox News, I watched Fox News almost all day Tuesday. His next court date isn't going to be until, I think, December 4th. And they didn't put a gag order on him. That was a whole nother thing on Tuesday. They were talking about gag ordering. But this is from Fox News. Trump pleads not guilty to 34 felony counts, ladies and gentlemen, of falsifying business records linked to the 2016 hush payment money. All these 34 felony counts have been released. And all of them are surrounding Stormy Daniels and the hush payment money that they paid to Miss Daniels to not to say anything, and look how that turned out. She still said something under Michael Cohen. Now let's go into a brief of these 34 felony counts, what they're really charging Trump with, because that was the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody wanted to know what was Trump being charged for. We know this is a politically motivated charge that has happened to Donald Trump. This local DA, which I want to address that later on, but this local DA of New York City said that Donald Trump broke federal election laws. And how did he break this law? Well, he went ahead and tried to cover up one crime. He covered up one crime to cover up another crime. So that means it's intent. So they're trying to say that Donald Trump purposely. Let me try to remember how Briggs said this. I watched Briggs' press conference. Briggs basically went on the offense and said, listen, this is why we're looking into Donald Trump. Donald Trump knew that if Stormy Daniels came out and accused him of having sexual relations with him, it would hurt his chances to win in 2016. And by him knowing this, he paid Stormy Daniels to influence voters to vote for him and not know all the facts. So that was a crime. He was interfering with the 2016 election. That was a crime right there. So him paying Stormy Daniels went over to another crime. Now, ladies and gentlemen, paying someone to be quiet is not a crime. You don't see this in the Constitution where it is a crime that this has happened. This is wrong. But listen how they're saying this, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't want him to influence the 2016 election. But ladies and gentlemen, few examples I can just think off the top of my head. Hillary Clinton paying for a PP tape or a dossier that said that Donald Trump went ahead and paid hookers to go pee on Obama's bed in Russia or wherever he was located. That was not to try to find dirt on Donald Trump. That wasn't interfering with the 2016 election. Let's go to the 2020 election, ladies and gentlemen, where Hunter Biden had a laptop. He left at a computer repair place. And that computer was not repossessed by Hunter Biden. The guy that worked on the computer, who Hunter Biden is suing now because infringing of his privacy, went ahead and showed the world, hey, look, there's stuff in this computer that people need to see. And the CNN, MSNBC, and all big media except Fox News and Newsmax went ahead and hit it. They just, interfere. Hey, wasn't that influencing the 2020 election? But they want to get on Donald Trump because Donald Trump paid a hooker or pawn star, wherever you want to say it, went ahead and paid hush money to an adult film star to not say allegedly, because this hasn't been proven. I hear a lot of the liberals, even some Republicans, I've had debates with them, where they say, hold on, Isaac, he cheated on that woman with his wife. He would not be in that predicament if he would have done that. But it hasn't been proven. It has not been proven. It has not been proven that Donald Trump has done anything with Stormy Daniels. None whatsoever. But ladies and gentlemen, it influenced the 2016 election for people to not go with another candidate. Look, I want to ask a question to Andy Briggs, Alvin Briggs as well. How many other politicians have done this? Listen, don't say nothing bad about me. Here's some money. And you won't say anything. But because it's Donald Trump, it becomes a crime because he was trying to influence voters in the 2016 election. Ladies and gentlemen, every politician trying to influence voters. I have good friends that are politicians that are trying to get my vote and trying to get other people's votes. There's some good people. I'm not disagreeing with that. There's some good people. But ladies and gentlemen, every politician is trying to influence voters to vote for him. Hey, I'm better at this than this guy or that lady, so please vote for me because I'm going to better represent you than anybody else in the country. But ladies and gentlemen, that's wrong all of a sudden. A politician cannot influence voters. Well, Isaac, it's the way he did it. Because people that were morally standard, they would see that Donald Trump did this with this woman, and they wouldn't vote for him because he wasn't being a moral type of president. Ladies and gentlemen, this you can go all over with this. Donald Trump went ahead and paid this woman $130,000 to not say nothing to influence the campaign. And that's wrong, but then we would have to go ahead and go after Bill Clinton and other men and women in Washington, D.C. that has done the same thing. See the double standard right here, ladies and gentlemen? But Donald Trump was arrested. Donald Trump was not put in handcuffs, thank goodness, because that's what the left wanted. They wanted a picture of him with his handcuffs and a mugshot. They wanted that to release. In the courtroom, we only had still shots, but Alvin Briggs, before the press conference, was trying to get Donald Trump to... They were trying to do like a trial right there. They wanted to do a gag order. They didn't want Donald Trump to go on social media and defend himself. But they can go ahead and keep everything on the lock and key, and they accuse Donald Trump of whatever he wanted. They want. Now, Alvin Briggs did come out, and he did say why he did this. He's for the moral, the law, and he wants to go ahead and he wants to make sure people are representative and all that stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, Also, Donald Trump came out and blasted the judge and blasted everybody else that's part of this. The judge is a known person that don't like Trump. And ladies and gentlemen, they're going back and forth with this. Ladies and gentlemen, Alvin Briggs did this because he wanted to go after Donald Trump. He didn't go after Donald Trump for justice. He didn't go after Donald Trump to help the American people to advance the American agenda. No, it was to advance the Democrat Party. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Braggs wants to destroy Trump. And look, I don't know, it's a back Soros DA. Ron DeSantis is having a field day with this. Ron DeSantis has already said, look, we took one out in Florida, and guess what? We're doing better. So he's using this to his advantage. Trump is using this to his advantage. Trump is leading the polls out the wazoo right now. I think this is backfire because they thought people would say, oh, Donald Trump's indicted now. Oh, we can't vote for Donald Trump. It started to backfire. But ladies and gentlemen, this case is so thin. I hear a lot of commentating. I hear a lot of people talking about this. Alvin Briggs ain't even sure about this case. There's some legal analysts that are saying if it's done right, it won't even go to trial. Now, this is a ironic thing. $121,000 was awarded to Trump for lawyers' fees from Stormy Daniels when Stormy Daniels tried to sue Trump, and it had been proven that she was wrong. And $121,000. So almost all that $130,000 came back to Trump anyway. Now, if you look into the weeds of it, they say that Michael Cohen paid this woman, Donald Trump, and this is why they say that he committed a felony in business side, because he went ahead and gave money to Michael Cohen and said it was for legal fees, but it was it should have been campaign funds. Well, if you go look at I'm trying to think of the vice president candidate's name. It wasn't Al Gore. It was I can't think of their name. But former vice president candidate got accused of the same thing because he took it out of campaign funds, and they said nope, that was part of the campaign. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the boundaries that this said. Man, we said this a while back. This opened Pandora's box because it was asked by Peter Dorsey of Fox News to Karine Jean-Pierre that the president being a lawyer. Okay, now we're going to switch this over back to the Biden administration. This is being a Trump lawyer. Peter Dorsey asked this question, that, the president that is sitting in office now and a local Trump DA, somebody that backs Trump, that loves Trump, that's a MAGA person, and will say, look, I think Biden broke the law here. I'm going to put him up for a grand jury. Karine Jean-Pierre said, we're not going to comment on that. Also, when it was asked about this, the president said he wasn't going to comment. The Karine Jean-Pierre used, it's an open investigation. We cannot talk about that, which is funny. They're talking about the January 6th stuff all the time, but they cannot talk about this case. Why? Because if the president comes out and says, I think it's right that President Trump is indicted, it would show he's politically biased. And that he's using this for his political gain. If he says, no, I don't think it's right, then his party that is pushing this, will look bad. And ladies and gentlemen, this puts the president in a pickle, but the president ain't saying nothing. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this hurts his chances. Because everybody already thinks that this is a backed by the Biden administration. Now, there's no proof of that. I will say that there's no proof of that. But the perception is that this is bad. And look, like I said, this opens up precedent for future DAs to go ahead and try to indict future presidents or former presidents. Ladies and gentlemen, they're after Trump, but they're not realizing what they're doing. Now, we've had Congress, Kevin McCarthy, and all of them said they're going to look into this to see if it was politically motivated. And they're probably going to find it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, Trump, Trump did go ahead and make a speech on it. I didn't watch the speech, but I saw some clips, and he said, look, this judge is biased, and will this go anywhere? This is the answer. Look, we've been talking about this for the last couple of podcasts because this has been the biggest story. But ladies and gentlemen, and there's a lot of other things going on. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to keep up with everything with this. But ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of funny that, like Karine Jean-Pierre, the president isn't worried about it. Why? Because of the tutorial justice system. Usually Republicans and conservatives don't go ahead and do what the Democrats do. But ladies and gentlemen, this does open up a lot of problems going forward in our nation. When you have people, liberal-minded people, and I'm talking liberals in a sense that feel that they have to take out people to advance their agenda, that's scary. Because ladies and gentlemen, and Dan Bongino's been saying it the best way, we're getting into a police state, we're getting into a communistic state. We are drifting more away from God, as the next story in the next segment we're going to talk about a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, this is scary right here. And look, I'm going to quote Rush Limbaugh. He said he would let us know when it's time to panic. Well, he's not here no more. And should we panic? No, because we live in America. I think America's spirit, more Americans are going to come to light. But at the same time, more people are losing the patriotism that they had. They're losing things that they love. And ladies and gentlemen, we're having issues right now. And this whole Trump thing is scary to me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the only thing that can save us right now is Jesus. We need to go back to the Lord. And we need to go ahead and focus on that. But ladies and gentlemen, we're living dark times in America, and we need to start getting our prayer closets, and we need to start praying for revival. That's the only thing that's gonna save us. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I'll be right back in a few minutes. How you doing, everyone? Isaac here. I'm the Cajun Conservative, and I want to thank Brother Lanny Hayes from Hayes' Dump Truck Service for their generous support of the Cajun Conservative and Brothers Just Searching. Hayes' Dump Truck Service serves the Lafayette and surrounding areas. If you have any job that you need done, like cleanup or hauling material to your job site or your home, we haul limestone, we haul sand, we haul topsoil, any type of material you need. If you're in the Lafayette and surrounding areas, please call Brother Lanny Hayes at 337-852-8043. Remember, Hayes' Dump Truck Service, where Jesus is Lord of the company.
Your blood cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul. All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show today. As again, apologize for the vocals, for my voice. As you notice, like I said, I do usually have a beverage with me, but I don't sip on it as much throughout the show. If that's hot coffee, sodas, or something of that nature. But I'm drinking a lot of it, trying to keep my voice primed and where y'all can hear me. Well, I don't sound like this. But I apologize again. It's rough. It's rough. But anyway, I mentioned in the other segment how, we need Jesus. We need the Lord to change this nation. I saw a TikTok video earlier of a representative in Missouri on their state capitol praying for the nation. Our nation is just is bad, ladies and gentlemen. And it isn't just politics. I think the results of politically in our nation is because we are spiritually we're running spiritually on empty. What do I mean by that? I honestly think that the country today is in the state it's in because we have rejected God. And it just didn't start in the last couple of years. This has been going on since the 60s, since the hippie movement. And when the government said, hey, we want to take God out of school, we're gonna stop prayer, we're gonna stop praying in school, we're gonna stop praying in local places. And ladies and gentlemen, this has started all this. The Romans chapter 1 says God will give them unto a reprobate mind, and it gives the conditions that a nation or people would turn to if they turn away from God, and God give them a reprobate mind. Reprobate minds mean a confused mind. And ladies and gentlemen, everything's backwards. Come on, we don't even know what a male and a female is no more. We don't know. We have men going around saying that they can get pregnant. Isn't that a reprobate mind or a confused mind? We have people out here that believe there's 355 genders. and there's only two. But because of the results of the lack of spirituality in this nation, and I'm not talking about, and I gotta be careful when I say spirituality here, because a lot of people might take that a different way. People might say, well, Isaac, isn't that, Hinduism or Buddhism or something of that nature? So a different cult or religion besides Christianity. And I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about Christianity. When our country was formed, it was formed based on biblical principles. That's why our nation has survived 250 some years. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is the problem in our nation. Our nation is losing its God-fearing. And are we in a post-Christian nation? I believe we are. I think we're getting to Obama said it the best way, and I don't quote Obama too much, but on this right, he said we don't live in a Christian nation no more. And that is because majority of our politicians, left and right, don't respect God's law. They want you to respect their laws, but they don't want to respect the supreme ruler of the universe. And this is why our country's in a mess we're in. That's my honest opinion. And ladies and gentlemen, because of that, the world, as we know it, hates Christianity. Look, we see this in America today. We're going to go ahead and talk over a little bit of that because, you can even go back to the Nashville shooting where, like I said, the manifesto has not come out yet, but there is reliable sources that have been given to news media that this person wanted to go ahead and hurt Christians. And she blamed her parents because her parents did not accept her. And ladies and gentlemen, look, and I'm not using that as saying that all the transgender people are bad. Please don't say that. But ladies and gentlemen, it goes to a point that there's a war on Christianity. And as the nation draws further and further away from God, we're going to see more attacks on Christianity. And they're going to try to start taking more of our rights away. I am a Christian before I'm a conservative. I am a Christian before I'm a Republican. And this is what scares me, is that our nation slowly are taking away Christians' rights and giving it to other sects of people. And why am I saying this? Because there was a couple of news stories out this week that really bothered me that happened in America. One being that a mom in Oregon is suing the state of Oregon because she allegedly was denied adoption for 2 children who were 9 years old because of her Christian beliefs. A single mother of 5 filed a lawsuit against Oregon's Department of Human Services Monday for allegedly denying her adoption application due to her religious belief, according to the press from Alliance Defending Freedom, ADF. The lady's name is Jessica Bates, a single mother of 5 who also lost her husband in a car crash 6 years prior, attempted to apply with the Department of Adoption with the department to adopt children in 2022. According to a press release, Bates' application was allegedly denied because her Christian beliefs would not allow her to respect, accept, or support the sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression of the children in her case. As the department adoption regulations require. So Oregon says if you want to adopt a child, you have to accept them as they are. And it's not just I just accept them as they are, children. No, if they come up to you one day and say, Mama or Sue or Jill or whoever says, I identify as a boy and it's a little girl, you have to go ahead and promote that. In your house, you can't have Christian pictures, or you can't have Christian scriptures or anything on your wall, but you have to put an LGBTQ flag, a rainbow flag, a pink symbol, or something. And because this woman, she wrote a letter to them and said, I'm not going to do that. I think we should protect them with their innocence and let them decide when they're old enough. The smart thing to do. They told her no, because you will influence the kids the wrong way, the biblical way. And ladies and gentlemen, she's suing Oregon. And I'm proud she's doing this. I'm glad she just didn't sit back and say, no, I'm not going to. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I heard this from Fox News. I think it's Kayleigh McEntyre that said it. She said that these kids were 9 years old. Those are the hardest kids to adopt. It's easy to adopt a baby. But to adopt a 9-year-old or put somebody, I know families that are foster parents right now. And it's hard on them. But ladies and gentlemen, she wanted to adopt these 2 kids. But the state of Oregon says no because you are a Christian. We're not going to do that, which goes on the lines of discrimination, because it wasn't that she didn't have a good home for them to live in. It wasn't that she wasn't going to provide for them. No, because of your Christian beliefs. This is happening in America. This is happening in America today, ladies and gentlemen. This is wow. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm baffled. I really am. I am baffled that here in America, that the left, and Oregon is a leftist state, it's a blue state, made laws to where Christians can't adopt, but it's okay for an LGBTQ couple to go ahead. Look, Pete Buttigieg, is him and his so-called husband just went ahead and adopted a child. It's okay for them. And like I said, ladies, a reprobate mind. We're not going to go ahead. We're not going to go ahead and allow a single mom to adopt, but we're going to allow an LGBTQ family to go ahead and adopt. It's backwards, ladies. It's backwards. And I hate to say this in America, but there's a war on Christianity. I hate to say that. There is a war on Christianity. Anything that is godly and honorable is looked down on, but anything that is unholy and unjust is looked up. And I quote Daniel. Daniel said that there's gonna be a day where they're gonna call evil good and good evil. It's sad that we're at this point right now, but ladies and gentlemen, it's sad. It is very sad right now. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and talk about the Country Star, the Country Music Awards, or CMT award show coming out this week, where Country Star performed with drag queens at CMT Music Show pushes gun control. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. At the annual Country Music Television Awards show Sunday night was infused with political messages from 29-year-old singer Kelsey Belladon, who co-hosts the ceremony alongside musician Kane Brown. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happened was this country artist went ahead and performed, and I seen the performance, dancing with drag queens. They were all over the stage, and they were doing dances. Now, this is in a string of a lot of performers going against the Tennessee backlaw, the GOP backlaw in Tennessee, which banned drag queen shows from being performed in front of children. And it also went ahead and pushed the gun control narrative that, hey, we need more gun control. And this is trying to push the narrative away from the Nashville shooter who was transgender. But ladies and gentlemen, look, I just said it a few minutes ago. Everything's backwards. Everything that is good and right is wrong, and whatever's bad and evil is lifted up. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, let's go address this, because a lot of these stars are doing this. A lot of these stars are going ahead and using their platform, saying, hey, we need more gun control, and it's wrong that the Tennessee legislation went ahead and passed a bill that would stop drag queen shows from being performed in front of children. Now, I want to address this, okay? Look how backwards these people are. And look, I'm not against taking people's rights. And look, I'm not against it. But ladies and gentlemen, children aren't allowed in bars in most places. Some children aren't allowed. You try to bring a child to a strip joint, it will never happen. And you would have the cops there faster than, but these men that are dressing up like women that are walking around and flaunting themselves, twerking in front of young children, it's okay because they're part of the LGBTQ community. And I don't think that's right. I don't think, this is not for drag queens, this is for anybody. I don't think an adult should show their body parts exposed to children. You know, we have people that are called SOs. That's what I'm gonna use the abbreviation. When they go ahead and they do stuff like this, that you can't, you have your neighbors, especially here in Louisiana, if they're labeled as an SO, they go ahead and they send you a paper if they move in your neighborhood, and people all worried, but not drag queens. And that's what the Florida laws are trying to protect the children. But people like this that go in front of the television screens, or that are promoted on television screens, saying that this is a bad idea. And I heard Jesse Waters say this earlier. AOC thinks this is wrong. Or says that people won't worry about that, but they're not worried about the old white men. Ladies and gentlemen, now the legislation was blocked by a federal judge and is going through things, going through the processes. But ladies and gentlemen, and look, this all comes on the heels. Let me go like this, okay? A lot of people on the left saying that we're politicizing the shooting in Nashville. Oh, you're promoting the genderism. You're promoting this. You're trying to make it seem like it's bad. But ladies and gentlemen, aren't they doing the same thing? Ever since that shooting, and it was shown that this person was part of the transgender community, they have been pushing. Even the presidents, the day of it was originally called the Day of Vengeance, but the president, visibility, the day of visibility for LGBTQ people. Aren't they politicizing it? Look, this is how I feel with this. I brought out this on the show already. I feel that they're trying to promote they're trying to make the assailant the victim. And they're trying to push this agenda. They're trying to cover that up. And I said this. The Nashville shooting, you don't hear nothing about it no more. You don't hear nothing about the manifesto. You don't hear nothing about it. But you're hearing this. And you're seeing movie stars come out and trying to push this agenda down our throats. And it's sad. It is sad that we have this right now. It is sad. And even with the... And look, these are the people. Look, these the drag queens. Look, and you see them. You see a picture. They're all nice and they're all covered and they all. Go watch Graham Allen's videos on Instagram, where they have a man that's wearing tights and showing everything and twerking in front of a little girl. That's what this Florida lives back. Just trying to protect children. But nope. That's good. We can let children see that, but we can't have a mother adopt two children because she's gonna show them the Bible and to be respectful and to love and to cherish. Ladies and gentlemen, our country, and like I said this at the beginning of this segment, the only thing that's gonna change this country around is Jesus, and we need to start praying for revival. Oh, how our country has went to a reprobate mind. Sad, folks. All right, with that being said, we'll be right back after this short break.
Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. My name is Scott Ford, and I have a show on Rumble. It's the Scott Ford Show, all one word. The Scott Ford Show, all one word, and it's on Rumble. I'd be very happy if you went ahead and subscribed, like Isaac. I'm a true American-loving patriot. Thank you, Isaac. God bless. Enjoy your life.
You're my peace of mind when this old world seems to get me down.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show today. So just released a few hours ago of the time of this recording, the Biden administration review of Afghanistan withdrawal reportedly blames Trump. The White House on Thursday released its review of President Biden's fumble withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021, dropping the long-awaited report days before the Easter holiday, and while former President Donald Trump's indictment dominates the headlines. So they're not, and look, ladies and gentlemen, that's the only thing I don't like about the Donald Trump indictment. Fox News, CNN,
every network that's plastered all over the television, and you have stuff like this that is getting passed. But that's okay. Your truly friendly neighborhood Cajun conservative is keep an eye out on it. Thumbs up on the camera. The 12-page outline, Biden officials defended the president's decision to withdraw, calling his decision to end the 2-decade-long war the right thing for the country. The report does not appear to acknowledge any mistakes made by Biden. However, the documents reportedly criticized the Trump administration for constraining the conditions of the American evacuation. During the 13 American soldiers died in a suicide bombing while protecting the Kabul airport. The review does acknowledge that the evacuation of Americans and allies from Afghanistan should have started sooner, but blames the delay of the Afghan government and military and the U.S. military and intelligence community assessments. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember in 2021, Biden said, hey, I want to go ahead and pull them out. Now, Trump started the process, but Trump wanted to take everything out of it. Remember, we left billions of dollars of equipment there that the Afghan Taliban now has and they're using for their disposal and oppressing their will on the Afghani people. 2 decades. Think about this. 2 decades we were there. We freed them people. And within minutes of us leaving, they went ahead and, hey, y'all take it. I think we even had some pictures of the Taliban wearing some of our uniforms. So if we ever go back over there, we have to create a whole new uniform for our people to wear. But out of this whole thing, remember this happened in 2021. Trump was not there. It was Biden. Biden made all the decisions, but the White House is determined to tell you, the American people, it wasn't Biden's fault. That whole debauchery, that whole mess up right there wasn't Biden's fault. It was Trump's fault because Trump put things into place and he criticized it and Trump is to blame. It was all the Afghan government. Also, it was intelligence. It was this. And ladies and gentlemen, this administration does this very well. They don't take the blame for anything wrong, but they take credit for everything that goes right. Best example I can give you is gas prices. Don't you remember when gas prices were going higher than the sky? And people couldn't afford to put gas in their vehicle? The president, Karine Jean-Pierre, and everybody went on television and said, I don't know why you're blaming us. The president don't influence the gas prices. But when gas prices started going down, that's all you heard. Oh, the president's doing this to bring down gas prices. Oh, the president's doing that. Wait a minute, if he couldn't influence it to go up, how can he influence it going down? And this is the same thing right here. The president of the United States was Joseph Biden. Joseph Biden was the president of the Afghan withdrawal. He made all the decisions. Trump could not call him and say, hey, I'm the president, I'm the former president, I have a year layover, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you to do this. Biden made those decisions, ladies and gentlemen. You know what Biden's doing now, though? Oh, it was Trump's fault. That whole thing, and he must think the American people are dumb. I'm serious. He must think the American people are so dumb that they don't remember. That he has to think they're so dumb. Us, the American people, are so dumb that we wouldn't remember this. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an embarrassment. To me, it is that we have our president that just, hey, I'm not gonna worry about that. In New York, as we know, Alvin Bragg, the district attorney of New York, of Manhattan, is more focusing on crimes that involve politicians that he don't like. And as he says, he wants to make sure that he's tough on crime and but ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Carlson a couple of nights ago went ahead and ripped Alvin Bragg's this was on Monday night, for creating a tyrannies in New York City. And there was a guy in a parking garage Parking garage attendee called Mosa Diary noticed a man peeing into parked cars looking for things to steal. Now that's a familiar scene in New York. Coulson, a co-founder of the Daily Caller, this is from the Daily Caller's News Foundation, said Alvin Briggs, a local Soros-funded DA, has decided that prosecuting car burglars is a form of white supremacy. As a result, no surprisingly, car burglars have risen. The attention is now white, but apparently he's sick of watching people get robbed. Carlson described how Dario was attacked by an alleged robber, disarmed the attacker, and was initially charged with multiple crimes, including attempted murder, that were later dismissed by Braggs. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and look at this system a little bit. They had a man, saw another man peeking in other cars, planning on robbing him in New York, and went ahead and told him to stop. This is the story. I watched the video. And the car burglar pulled out a firearm, started firing at the individual, Mr. Diary. I think it's Diarra. Diary. Pulled out the firearm, started shooting at him. He jumped in front of the firearm, pulled it back, shot the assailant, and they both injured. Mr. Mozo got up in a hospital bed later and noticed he had handcuffs on because they were charging him with crime. Listen to this. They're silent. The person breaking into vehicles was set free. Now, Braggs did release it because of media attention. But ladies and gentlemen, do you want to live in a state that's controlled by liberals? Where a car burglar off scot-free. He's free. He's doing whatever he wants. But the man that was trying to protect private property is charged with murder and other crimes. Ladies and gentlemen, look, it's kind of been the theme for the last couple episodes. How's everything's backwards? But this is the same DA that went after Trump and indicted Trump. We talked about it in the whole first segment. And in his speech, I want to make sure that crime is paid for in New York. No, you don't. When you allow something like this to happen, no, you don't. You don't care for the rule of law. But going after President Trump was his top priority. And ladies and gentlemen, we see this in a lot of blue cities of these DAs. Like I mentioned, DeSantis fired one. DeSantis removed one from office because the area where he was at, he was letting criminals go, but he was prosecuting law-abiding citizens. God's going to give him up to a reprobate mind, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that word, reprobate minds. Well, 2 words, reprobate minds. All right, so my last story, well, let me give you one more. Marjorie Taylor Greene was hosted on this came from Daily Wire. Marjorie Taylor Greene appeared on 60 Minutes, and this was a whole thing as well. I have another article where liberals were upset at 60 Minutes that they're going to promote Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what do you got to hide, liberals? Why do you want Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about? See, this is the job of the media. Like me, and I made some politicians upset. Now, those politicians I made upset, I tried to interact with them and talk with them. They're still our political leaders. I like to be involved with our political leaders. But ladies and gentlemen, a lot of them don't like me if I expose something. In reality, I'm not a journalist, but I'm still part of a news media type thing. And I'm saying news media like a journalist. Some journalists go ahead and like Project Veritas. I forgot the founder's name. He's not there no more, Project Veritas, but he went ahead and exposed a few things. And a lot of people got mad at him because he went ahead and did his job. Well, and this is the only defense I can give to CBS. I'm glad CBS did this because if they think Marjorie Taylor Greene's doing something wrong, invite her on your show, which they did, and ask her some questions. Ask the questions to see if you can, got you moment. You get what I'm saying? That's the job of the news media. But they were upset. They were upset that Marjorie Taylor Greene was on CBS. You know why? Because Marjorie Taylor Greene exposed the left. Excuse me. She exposes the left for what they are. Now, as she sat down, the host of CBS kind of said, wow, okay, to Marjorie Taylor Greene, because Marjorie Taylor Greene went ahead and left her speechless with some assessments of the Democrat Party. The host of 60 Minutes went ahead and asked the question why she had in recent weeks referred to the Democrat Party in that manner, which was meaning that well, let me go ahead. Yeah, the host asks was left speechless when she doubled down on the claims that the Democrat Party was the party of pedophiles. The Democrat Party is a party of pedophiles. The host asks, prompting a response from Greens. I would definitely say they support groping children. Was Green's reply? They're not pedophiles. Why would you say that? Democrats support even Joe Biden, the president himself. This is Green's response: supporting children being sexualized and having transgender surgeries, sexualizing children, and what pedophiles do to their children. Green answered, drawing a direct comparison between pedophiles and the adults who were condoning, or even promoting homo-based or even surgery gender transit for minors. After a pause, the host of 60 Minutes simply said, wow, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now, of course, some on the left, we have some people that listen on the left, would probably say, hold on, Isaac, she was wrong. But, I just talked about drag queens in the second segment. How drag queens, which are men that dress up like women, go into these schools and shake their tootsies in front of everybody, all the children. But any other person, if it's a woman that does that in front of a child, she's arrested and charged with things. I'm trying to be age appropriate here. Charged with crimes. If a man does it and expose himself to children, he's going ahead and charge him. But because a man puts on a dress and says, I'm a drag queen, he goes ahead and gets scot-free. Ain't that a pedophile? That's what the left supports, and that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now CBS will not give Marjorie Taylor Greene the benefit. A lot of this is edited. A lot of this, they have a lot of things, and we already seen that they're easy on certain things. But ladies and gentlemen, the left didn't want this out there, and CBS, this interview didn't hurt Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said she's truthful what she says. But ladies and gentlemen, just to say, wow, and looks, the response of the host of 60 Minutes says everything about him. When they say we're not biased, we're nonpartisan, this shows right. Wow, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that proves right there which side they're on. Marjorie Taylor Greene, 9 out of 10 could have said she agreed with everything the Democrat politics, and she would get the same response. Because the media is partisan and they're biased. And it is not to the right, it's to the left. Everything they accuse Fox News, I hear people like this. We have a guest lined up, and he says this all the time. Oh, it's you listen to Fox News and Newsmax and this and this. But the issue of it is, y'all do the same thing with CNN, MSNBC, CBS, and all of them. We won't listen to Fox News because they're indoctrinating their people. Turn on CNN. And look, I've done it. And a lot of people say that, oh, you quote from the Daily Wire. Yeah, I quote from the Daily Wire, but I also quote from CNN. I did it last episode. I read other news articles. But ladies, the left don't do that. Hey, if it ain't CNN, CBS, ABC, MSNBC, we don't want to look at it. Let me try to show a liberal a Fox News article. And the first words out of their mouth is, that's a Fox News article. That's why it's like that. CNN don't say that. Well, they're competing for one another to begin with, but we're the ones that's indoctrinated. We're the ones that are being propagandized. And look, just to show that right here, why liberals were mad because Marjorie Taylor Greene showed up on 60 Minutes. All right, we're going to end with this story right here, and I thought it was kind of funny. And I guess you could say I saved the best for last. Because I want to brag a little bit about my LSU Tigers. I am wearing a Raging Cajun shirt. I am a fan of the Raging Cajuns as well. But I'm a big fan of LSU sports. LSU sports had some big news this week, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. For the first time ever in school history, they have a basketball title. And the LSU women's basketball team went ahead and won the national championship of the NCAA's women basketball championship. Now, we got to give a prop while I'm talking about this to UConn as well. They won the men's, but this is a Louisiana-based podcast, baby. And our Tigers show them on the court with Iowa. There's a lot of controversy that's going around there, though. We're going to explain that a little bit. One being that First Lady Jill Biden, Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, went ahead and was talking in Denver. And the First Lady let her desires to have both teams visit the White House, known while speaking at a Colorado State Capitol in Denver, where she praised both teams. This is her quote. I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So we hope LSU will come, she said. But I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too because they played such a good game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the result of give everybody a trophy. Think about this, okay? Now look, grade level, I understand. Look, like my little boy played t-ball, and one of them's coming in there. I understand with soccer, we put them in sports. I understand at a young age, a participation trophy. You played, yes. But the problem with this is that you're giving everybody a trophy. They come to the mentality that everybody's a winner, even when you lose. Now it has creeped up to the White House, apparently, because Jill Biden don't want to make the Iowa basketball team feel bad. So she's going to tell Joe, now this is old news, they already pulled back they did damage control on this, where they say, no, we're just going to have LSU. But ladies and gentlemen, it has creeped to the White House. We can't make the Iowa girls feel bad because they're not coming to the White House. So let's invite everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a reward for the national champions of the NCAA. Look, this happens in the NFL. This happens in the NHL. Where when you win, you get to go and represent the team at the White House. Okay? But ladies and gentlemen, the losing team now, Clark and a lot of the people from the other side in Iowa said, no, we're not going to go. LSU deserves that. Props to them. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the result of give everybody a trophy society. Hey, you lost, but you did a good job. Here's your trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here has just... When I first saw that, that's the first thing I thought. Give everybody a trophy society. You're a winner even if you lose. Now look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't like losing. I played slow pitch softball. I don't like losing. I've done sports for little sports events here and there. I played in tournaments. Losing, it does not feel good, but it pushes me forward, ladies and gentlemen. And that makes me go ahead and continue to go for success. Like Tom Brady. Everybody was asking about Tom Brady. And look, I don't like Tom Brady too much. But why was Tom Brady so good? Because even if Tom Brady got that ring, he's like, yeah, but I can do better. And every time he lost the Super Bowl, he came back and said, no, I could have done better. You losing thrives. Now, I'm not. There's a difference with losing with grace and then losing with saying, I'm losing, I'm done. That's a quitter. But ladies and gentlemen, to have success, you have to have some losses on the way. But you go ahead and tell people, hey, you lost, but here's your trophy. You're good. You're gonna be like, well, I lost, but I'm good. I still get the rewards. That's not how that works. Not in our society. But for Jill Biden to even think this, she's losing a couple of marbles like her husband. I think they should both come. They both play so well. Yes, but there's only one that held up the trophy. And that was LSU. And they should be rewarded with that visit. Now, will they go? I think they are planning on it. But ladies and gentlemen, as Angel Reese, one of the LSU basketball players, said, a joke. She has that on Twitter. And like I said, there was some other controversies around there. Unfortunately, we can't get to him today, but you know, I might touch on that next week because I gotta brag on my Tigers. Like I said, my LSU Tigers. Like I said, I'm a Cajun fan. I do have a Cajun shirt on. But I like me some LSU. But yes, LSU did win the national championship, and that they should just be the ones to go to the White House, not nobody else. With that being said, horse and all, I want to thank you for listening to the Cajun Conservative Show. As always, thank you for supporting this show. It's an honor and a blessing. Love every single one of you guys, but I have to ask you a favor. Go ahead and hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button on the platform you're listening on, or the follow button on other platforms that like Rumble and other platforms. They go follow YouTube and others. Say subscribe. Audio platform. Leave us a review. Send it out. Help make the Cajun Conservative grow. It is one of the fastest growing conservative podcasts in this nation. So go ahead and let's grow this podcast together. I need your help. Thank you for your continued support. Remember, Jesus Christ is King, and he's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus as your Lord and Savior, reach out to me. I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one.
Jesus Christ has risen, and he